What's up YouTube? It's your boy Curbs giving you guys a video talking about Pokemon Unite. So this is a video mainly talking about what I would like to change and what would I like to see in the future of this game and to see the success of it instead of it just flopping really hard already as it is. So first thing first, the first thing I want to mention is the fact that they say free to start. The fact that they say free to start and not free to play is a big difference. Those are two different words. If it's gonna be like Mario Run, where you play the game at first, but you have to pay for the full game later, it's gonna flop. It needs to follow the same marketing strategy of most mobile games, where it's free to play, but give the player the option to either buy out the champions if they don't want to grind for it, or buy cosmetics. But if it's gonna be a demo type of thing and then I have to buy the full game, then it better include the damn original roster. If I'm gonna buy the game and not have the original roster, then I'm out. Nobody's gonna support it. It's gonna do very terrible. It needs to include the full roster if it's gonna be like a demo type of thing. It needs to include the full roster, not just a partial of the roster. It needs to have the original roster of the game. Maybe later on, yeah, you can get more Pokemons, and that's not included, and you can grind for it. That's fine. But if I'm going to be paying for the game, it has to include the original roster, which I'm going to be talking about also about the roster in my second point. Okay, so let's talk about the main roster right here. I see a bunch of DPS and a bunch of tanks, but I noticed something. If you notice as well, there's not a single support in this roster, which is kind of weird because most MOBAs will have supports. Either a tank support or just a mage support. There's none of those in this game based off the original roster unless they have some sort of way to heal your allies. But what I would like to see is maybe some Chanseys, some Aldinos, maybe even a hybrid tank healer just like Milk Tank. In League of Legends we have Alistar, which is literally similar to Milk Tank, which is they're like cow-like, but you know, Alistar is a Minotaur. Milk Tank is obviously a cow, but they look similar. I would like to have something as Alistar and Milk Tank, where based off the auto attacks around you, it heals your allies. Just like in the game, Milk Tank can produce Moo Moo Milk, which can heal your Pokemon. I feel like that should be something that be included. You know, have tank healers, but there's no healers in this game, so I'm hoping they include some sort of healers later on in the future because they really need it. I don't see how you can have a MOBA game without any healers. Also, if you notice as well, there's only a top, bottom, and maybe a jungle in this game. There's no mid lane, which is kind of weird. There's no real mid lane. Most games will include a mid lane, and this game does not have it. So the main concern that I'm having here is how you're gonna divide the experience between two people in one lane. I know in League of Legends you have supporting items where it gives the support the same experience as your partner, but since this game does not include items, how are you supposed to share the experience? You both are going to be basically fighting for experience in one lane, which is why you don't see double top at all, because it just doesn't work, because you need the top laner to have full experience. So unless you're going to have like maybe funneling the jungler, which the other person can follow the jungler and help him heal while he takes down the camps, which makes sense, but how is the person that's healing is going to have experience? You get what I'm saying? It's a little bit weird. I don't know how they're going to balance out experience when it comes to two players in one lane. That's the thing I'm kind of concerned, because it's leveling up abilities. Just like Heroes of the Storm, which I personally did not like the way it is in Heroes of the Storm, is that you don't have items, you have abilities, and it's just very chaotic. So I don't know how it's going to work in this Pokemon Unite, because experience starvation is going to be a big issue in this game, and it's a little concerning. I don't know how they're going to do it. I really am curious of how they're going to make two people in one lane and have the other either sit and watch and just poke, but also gain the same experience. I hope they do that, because like if they don't, then you're gonna see a lot of people flaming each other like, bro, you took my farm. No, that's my farm, and it's gonna just lead to the same like toxic behavior that we have in mobile games. Like you need to have some sort of way to gain experience being next to each other. That's mainly about it. I just wanted to talk about Pokemon Unite. I don't hate the game. It's just it shouldn't be hyped up the way Pokemon thought. It really shows how out of touch Pokemon is with the company. Not the company, but with its fans. Because like the game is good. Don't get me wrong. I like mobile games. I'm gonna definitely try this out. But the fact that they hyped it up so much was the wrong approach. Like I mentioned, they should have just included in the last presentation as the trailer, and then do this presentation like, hey, if anybody that's curious that wants to see the gameplay, here it is. But they went with the wrong route, and I feel like they should have just not hyped it up the way they did, and it just really shows how out of touch the company is with its fans. So I don't hate Pokemon, it's just they really need someone to talk to them about marketing strategy. They're not doing a really good job at it. And the same thing goes to like Sword and Shield. They don't really hype up the way they do. Like there's just barely any news. To be honest, the leaks that Sword and Shield happened was more hyped about what Pokemon did. Like those leaks actually helped Sword and Shield actually do way better than what it did. Without those leaks, nobody would have. I don't think the game would have been super successful compared to what Pokemon was doing. They need a better marketing strategy person that knows how to promote these games for Pokemon Company. They're very out of touch. They don't know what they're doing, and they need someone to direct them in the right way because they're starting to look very bad with the fans. It's just they need someone to step in. Like I'll be honest. Like I'm sorry, Game Freak and the Pokemon Company, but they really need someone to promote, like do something about it because you guys are starting to lose fans. So, anyways, that's basically me just rambling about Pokemon Unite. Let me know what you'd like to see and what your thoughts on Pokemon Unite. As a mobile player, I'm excited, but I did mention those pinpoints about the struggle about the lanes and not seeing any supports. Anyways, I'm out. Bye.